Maryland movie theaters, restaurants, bars, and gyms all ordered to close today. Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, March 16th. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. Well, Governor Larry Hogan enacts more emergency measures in response to the coronavirus crisis, shutting down all bars, restaurants, gyms, and movie theaters as of 5 p.m. today. There have been 37 confirmed cases so far in Maryland, 15 in Montgomery County, and 10 in Prince George's. Hogan says we can expect the number of cases to dramatically and rapidly rise as the pandemic is going to take much longer and be much worse than initially thought. He says even though the unprecedented steps may seem disruptive and scary, they are necessary during this state of emergency. In addition to all the closures, all social, community, religious, recreational, and sports activities must be limited to no more than 50 people. That includes weddings and funerals. Utilities, including electric, gas, water, sewer, phone, internet, and cable TV, are prohibited from being shutting off residential customers or charging late fees. His order also bars the eviction of any tenant during the state of emergency.
These emergency orders carry the full force of the law and will be strictly enforced. We have activated 250 Maryland State Police troopers of the Mobile Field Force who are ready for deployment. As we said on Thursday, essential services such as grocery stores, food delivery, pharmacies, gas stations, banks, and other essential services need to remain open. In my direction, we are marshaling every tool in the arsenal of public health to combat this crisis and slow the spread of this pandemic.
The governor also plans to distribute 3 meals a day plus a snack to any children in need during this crisis. On Sunday, Hogan also ordered casinos, racetracks, and betting parlors shut down. Here in Prince George's, officials are also taking additional steps to slow down the spread of the virus. Byron Scott has our story.
This was the number of confirmed coronavirus cases worldwide last Thursday. And this is the number as of 11:53 this morning, a difference of more than 40,000 people.
We have taken additional precautions to prevent the spread of COVID-19 among our Office of Emergency Management personnel. We have limited the number of people who come into this building, and also those who came in today will notice that as an additional precaution, everyone in our Emergency Operations Center has their temperature checked before they are allowed to enter the building.
This map has been the ominous backdrop for County Executive Angela Alsobrooks and other officials as they provided updates on coronavirus in our region.
I have declared a state of emergency in Prince George's County to ensure that we get the necessary resources that we will need to conduct this important work and to continue to keep all of our residents safe.
As expected, there are more coronavirus cases in the county, at least 10, including 2 teachers at Holy Trinity Episcopal School in Glendale.
Of all the 10 cases, I'm happy to say that 7 have either recovered or are doing well. 3 are hospitalized, and we will continue lifting those individuals up in our prayers. The 11th case is still under rapid investigation. We just found out about it before we came. And so I'll give you further updates as when we come back the next time.
County buildings remain closed to the public during this time, and officials also announced today they're working on setting up pop-up food pantries around Prince George's.
We have partnered with the Capital Area Food Bank to host 3 pop-up food pantries. These pantries are for those who cannot afford to buy adequate food and who would ordinarily seek food and help from our food pantry. The details are being worked out at the moment. They will be announced very shortly through social media, our government website.
And while schools are closed for the next 2 weeks, officials announced an expansion of locations where kids can pick up free meals on the go.
From 9 sites to 25 sites beginning tomorrow. We've expanded our hours from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And in the grab-and-go meals, students have a breakfast, lunch, and a snack.
But the overarching message today was about social distancing, keeping at least 6 feet between yourself and the next person.
That's what we're going to need to do to get through this. This virus is coming at us fast and hard. I know you all know the last time I was up here, I said we have a few, now we have more. It's going to get worse. We're not going to be able to keep up with all of the positive cases. We don't need to. What we need to do is stay at home, do your social distancing.
Byron Scott, CTV News.
And for more information about what the county is doing, you can call the coronavirus hotline at 301-883-6627. Well, the often busy hallways and classrooms of public schools across the state are now empty. Today, while crews work to clean and disinfect buildings, several schools in Prince George's passed out meals to students in need. CTV's Katira Jones is outside of Kenmore Middle School in Landover with more on the story.
Students have been arriving to Kenmore Middle School to pick up their grab-and-go lunches. Now, all Maryland public schools have been ordered to shut down temporarily due to concerns over the coronavirus. CTV chatted with school board member Brian Swan about the school system's efforts in getting meals to students. Beginning today and for the next 2 weeks, staff will be handing out lunches to students in need.
They're doing a tremendous job making sure they take all the necessary measures to protect themselves and make sure that this all happens in a very orderly and safe fashion for everyone.
No child will be turned away from receiving a grab-and-go lunch at any of the locations.
We're not checking IDs, we're not checking a roster or anything like that. If a student needs food, a child needs food, they can come to one of those locations and pick up food. Parents can't come without a child. There needs to be a child present, but a child doesn't have a parent to come get food.
Initially, the school system opened 9 schools across the county to provide those grab-and-go lunches to students. However, the school system just expanded that to 25 schools across the county beginning on Tuesday. Reporting in Landover, Katira Jones, CTV News.
And part of the expansion of the grab-and-go meals will include breakfast, lunch, and a snack. The 25 schools will be open from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. until March 27th. For a list of those locations, you can visit pgcps.org. U.S. senators push to provide funding for families and small businesses in response to COVID-19. Senators Chris Van Hollen and Ben Cardin are backing a measure to provide free testing, paid sick leave, and unemployment insurance. Meantime, Johns Hopkins Hospital officials say they'll help residents by providing more testing opportunities. They plan to open a site in Baltimore and drive-by sites in suburban Maryland. And the Maryland General Assembly will end its legislative session early with sine die on Wednesday, March 18th, and a plan to reconvene for a special session in the last week of May. Senate President Bill Ferguson says lawmakers will essentially be condensing the last month of the session into 3 days with a third of the staff. Delegate Darrell Barnes says that leaves only the most important and prioritized legislation on the agenda.
Number one concern right now is the Kerwin Commission, the blueprint to Maryland's future. That affects Prince George's County in a big way. The amount of money that Prince George's was going to have to fork over to help pay for this Kerwin bill. We're looking at Pimlico and the things that's happening there, how those things affect Bowie Racetrack and Laurel. So there's a lot of things right now that's pending that we're looking at. Sports betting is another big one that affects what we're trying to do for the Washington Redskins in the stadium here in Prince George's County. So we're looking at all of those things, and the clock is ticking ever so fastly.
And Ferguson and House Speaker Adrian Jones also announced the creation of a joint COVID-19 work group to monitor the effects of the virus in Maryland and advise the General Assembly on steps it should take in oversight and lawmaking roles.